Besides my parents, there's only one person actively working against me in trying to help my siblings have a life outside of our parents' house, and that is my mom's dad, my grandpa. This video is less about calling someone out than it is about giving my siblings, when they watch this, the side of the story they haven't heard, and almost a warning, because my grandpa was the first person I reached out to when I left my parents' house. We had not had contact or seen him or any extended family in many years, but he felt safe because he was the one my parents would still call when they needed somebody to intervene in telling extended family to leave them alone and never try to make contact with us or check on us and harass people for making a welfare check on us. And it took me a couple years of reconnecting with the rest of extended family and dealing with his manipulation and invalidation to realize that he's actually part of the problem. And that's why he is the only one that they talk to. And he has spent years messaging, calling me and my brother when we try to make contact with our siblings or try to talk to him about our frustrations with the fact that he won't facilitate telling my parents that they're wrong and that they need to allow our siblings to leave, that they need to not cut off their two oldest kids for simply leaving the house. And he's told us that we will be stopped and we're doing things the wrong way and we don't know anything. He's called my aunts since I started this TikTok to let them know that I'm making stuff up and they need to help him in stopping me from making TikToks. He has basically inferred for years in a couple of different instances that if I didn't have an experience as a kid being physically abused, then it's just not that serious. He weaponizes religion. He's still extremely Mormon, and I remember the point where I stopped trusting him was when I was on the phone with him and I was talking about how concerned I was for my siblings and how something needed to be done, and I needed his help in talking to my parents because he's the only one they don't have blocked, talking to my parents and letting them know that they need to change something. And he told me that we just need to trust God's plan and have faith, and because I don't go to church anymore, then I just don't know as much, and that's the reason that I'm struggling. And nobody knows why he's so bought into their side and why he's doing all of this. His other kids don't understand it, his wife doesn't understand it, but he just keeps going forward with it, whether it's a control thing, a religion thing, if he just needs to be right, if he needs to be one who's right in the situation, or if he knows something the rest of us don't, and he's helping them cover it up. And when my brother and I have tried to make contact with our siblings through our different creative ways, he has told us that we must stop, that we will be stopped, which feels threatening, and then that tells other people that we need to stop our attacks. And when I did successfully get the police to go in for a welfare check when I was on the front lawn and no one had seen or heard from them in 5 years, my parents get on the phone with my grandpa. They'll say, well, you just need to talk to my mom's dad. You just need to talk to my dad and he'll let you know that we're actually good people. And mind you, he has not seen or heard from his grandkids in 11 years this year. He has not seen them. So I don't understand why any of this is happening. And he actively works against me and my brother and the rest of the family to undermine us to law enforcement when we're trying to get their help in making sure that everything is okay. And my brother, a couple of weeks ago, told him that he was going to try really hard to get our other adult brother out of the house. And he told my parents that my brother said that he was going to come and kidnap all their kids. And so they went to the police station with this. I've seen the body cam footage from that. They went to the police station with this and said, our estranged son is trying to kidnap all our kids. And they were on the phone with my grandpa, the speakerphone in the police station, and he's letting him know all about this threat that my brother had made. And then the officer asked to see the screenshots of the messages because they were text messages. We will not get on the phone with him because he lies and twists things. And they were text messages, and he pulls them up, and the text messages say that I'm going to try to get my adult brother out of the house. And then the officers are like, well, we can't do anything about that. And a couple of years ago, when we did a public records request because we weren't getting any luck in having a welfare check done when no one had seen or heard from them in years, we found this call that my grandpa had made to law enforcement to tell them that we were just making calls like this so that we could request the body cam footage and post it on social media. And this was 2 years before my TikTok. This started a couple weeks ago. This is in 2024. And before that, no one had ever posted anything on social media about this at all. So it was made up, and it just really hurt our credibility to law enforcement when we were trying to help my siblings. I was going to raise questions about my mom and her childhood and her relationship with her dad before all of this, and she had a normal childhood. She is one of 8, and her dad was just working all the time to support 8 kids, and his other daughters would describe him as not really even being around because he was just working all the time. And my mom was really close with her mom, who she won't speak to now, and he's the only person she'll speak to. So this relationship has developed as a protective mechanism against everyone outside of her house because he's a resource to tell everybody else to stop what they're doing, to leave him alone, to trust God's plan. And he still doesn't see them. He still has not seen his grandkids in 11 years. So it just does not make sense. So just a fair warning to my 9 younger siblings who haven't had contact with him in 11 years, that he is not who he may be portrayed as inside of the house, the same way that I understood him to be when I was there and why he was the first person I reached out to when I left. He is actively working to keep me and everyone else from trying to help you.